97 degrees in Myrtle Beach. 97. And I'm sweating my ass off because I'm wearing jeans. See them? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy 17. You're about to see two incredible things for this video. One of which is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles beating the San Diego Chargers. They're the LA Chargers now, aren't they? Psych! LA Chargers. I don't actually know if they won or not because I was at work all night, but I have NFL Game Pass, so I'm going to watch the replay right now. And the other thing you're going to watch is you're going to watch me make a beat. Let's get to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the beat, and I'm going to show you each individual instrument and each individual just little aspect that I used. Aspect? Is that the word I'm looking for? Each individual, I don't know. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. I'm going to show you each piece of the beat that I used to make the beat. And I'm going to show you how I played that part or how I used my vocals as part of the beat, which I did, which is why I have my microphone set up. So, let's get to that, and let's watch this Eagles game while we're at it, why don't we? Ski! Okay, so for the first part of the beat, I found, don't make fun of how I'm sitting either. I found a synth that I like. It's called Distant Air. That's what it sounds like. Cool, right? All right, so what I did was I played a C minor chord with it, okay? And then I went from the C minor to the G minor. And I just played them in a rhythm like this. Like that. So that was the first part of the beat that I used. What I did after that is I just looped it, which means looping something is when you literally repeat it. So I looped it over and over and over again. And that's basically like the basis of my beat. So I have that playing throughout the entire beat. Now let me show you the next part of the beat that I made. Okay, so next, I knew that I wanted piano in it. I wanted some kind of piano. So I took just a classic electric piano. This is what I was gonna make the melody with. So what I did first is as the Distant Air synth is playing, as the intro to the track, I'm bringing in just pieces of the melody, showing you, like, letting people know, like, hey, this is what's coming. For example, I start with this. So we've got this. Show you. There it is coming in. Now, this is the next thing I added, the hi-hats. I used those hi-hats from a drum machine or a drum pack that I had. I downloaded the drum pack or drum kit from online for free. Actually, you know what? No, I bought this drum kit. I take that back. I bought this one from Producer's Choice, I believe. They got really good price on drum kits. So these right here, these are all sample pads that come on this MIDI keyboard, and you can load instruments into the keys, right? Like I have all my hi-hats loaded in here right now. I literally just kept the same hi-hat pattern throughout the whole thing, looped it. Now, I did change where I had the piano. So this was my melody I played. Check it out. Still sticking with the same chord, same keys. So I played this. And I looped it. Next thing I played is the kick and the snare pattern. What I did was I loaded in the drum kit again, and I have my kick drums. I believe this is called Survival Kit, by the way. And I have snares. So, this is the pattern that I decided on. What I did, I took the kick and the snare pattern and I put that in the verse. So instead of having it loop throughout the whole song, of course, I just have the kick and the snare pattern throughout the verse. And I have it going 7 bars. Okay, first off, a hip hop verse is normally 16 bars unless you're Kendrick Lamar and you want to rap for 62, or you're Joe Budden and you want to rap for 95. 16 bars is a normal hip hop verse. And then the hook, which is the chorus, the hook, is normally about 8 bars. It could be shorter, it could be longer, but it's normally about 8 bars. So we've got a 16 bar verse, 8 bar hook, 16 bar verse, 8 bar hook. And then I have an outro, but I have the intro in front of the first verse as well. So I have the kick and snare pattern going, okay, so I got to go in 7 bars, and the 8th bar is silent. And then 7 bars, and the last 8 bars silent. We're about halfway through the verse right now, so I cut it off right here. No kick, no snare, right? There it is again. And the reason I did that is because in a lot of hip hop songs, if you pay attention, they'll do that. They'll cut out, that's what I noticed, is they'll cut out part of the drum pattern halfway through the verse and just leave 1 bar, no drum pattern, because it makes you pay attention more to what they're saying. So if you got the, you know what I mean? Like, you're vibing to it. But then when that all of a sudden cuts out, you're like, hold on, what is that? Oh shit, what'd he say? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I feel like it's just human nature to pay attention more when something is going steadily and then all of a sudden stops. So, yeah, it's a cool technique that I picked up through some of my favorite artists and producers. Next, okay, so I was listening to this. And I'm like, it needs something, you know? It needs something else. Obviously, it needs a lot else, but it needs something unique, something to like pop, you know? And I was like, hey, whoa, hey, whoa. Something like that, right? I wanted some vocals in it. I wanted like it to go 3 bars and there to be like a hey, and then 3 more bars and there'd be like whoa. Just in the background, just some cool backing vocals that just are like, that I can incorporate as part of the beat. It's something I got off of one of my favorite artists, who's in this picture right here. Is that? No, I lied. He's in this one. That one up there. See that? Okay. His name is Jon Bellion. If you don't know who Jon Bellion is, you ever heard of the song The Monster by Eminem and Rihanna? I'm friends with the monster that's under my bed. He wrote the chorus to that, okay? Jon Bellion, he's a songwriter. Also, the song Trumpets. And the trumpets, they go... Bum, 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 bum. I might have got that melody wrong, but you know what I'm saying. By Jason Derulo, I think. I think it's Jason Derulo. Anyways, it's called Trumpets. 2 #1 hit songs. He wrote the chorus to Monsters, and he wrote, I believe, the entire song, or at least the chorus to Trumpets. He's a huge songwriter, but a lot of people don't know the people behind the scenes, okay? Well, I found him a few years back when I heard one of his songs called Carry Your Throne, and it was incredible. And what I thought was so incredible about it is the fact that he used his vocals as part of the beat. Like, he harmonized some of his, like, just ad-libs and stuff, and I was just blown away. I got into his music and I listened to this album called The Definition, which was one of his mixtapes. Actually, I believe it was, not an album. But it changed my life. And there's few albums that I can say changed my life. When I listened to The Definition by Jon Bellion, it changed my life. I shit you not. But I'm a big music buff. Not necessarily in all genres, but the genres that I do listen to and that I do like, I am super analytical about them, and I love when a certain project makes me feel like I'm on top of the world or that I can do anything. Those are albums that I call timeless albums because I can listen to them 3, 4, 5, 10 years from when I first heard them and know exactly where I was when I first heard it and exactly what I was doing and exactly what spot in my life I was at. That's the definition for me. So anyways, I put in some vocals as part of my, as a part of the beat. So here's what I recorded, okay? This is the raw vocal.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
That's it. And I looped it, okay? Sounds basic, sounds boring, right? Then you put the effects on. I put a pitch shift.
Yeah. Whoa.
Then I put reverb. And so then I actually put an echo effect on it. It's like, when I say yeah, you'll hear yeah, yeah. And when I say whoa, you'll hear whoa, whoa. So I did that. Check it out. Cool, right? I thought it was a cool part of the beat, a cool aspect to this beat that sets it apart from a lot of other beat makers. Okay, so next, I added a couple of hi-hats. Okay, so I used this one and this one. Okay, so I added 808s. I didn't want a song that banged, you know what I mean? Because I feel like that's more trappish too. But 808s can be really helpful when you have a kick drum that isn't very deep or that doesn't bump enough in car speakers. See how it sounds more like a tom? And this one, it has like a pump, pump, like a real deep bassy kick to it. So I decided I'm gonna use 808s on top of the kick drums. And like I said, I'm a beginner beat maker, so all of this might not be the correct way to make a beat for somebody who's been doing it for a while, or to any producer that might end up seeing this, but bear with me, I'm starting out here, okay? But I'm gonna tell you one thing about the 808s that I used. I stayed in the same key signature, okay? So like the 808s that I used the G 808 and the C 808. So that way, it stays in tune with the rest of the track. I'm not going to show you what that sounds like with the rest of the track because you won't be able to hear it, especially with all the other instrumentation going on. Last thing I added was a drum fill, where you remember how I told you I took out the 8th bar of the verse with the kick and the snare? The last thing I added was a drum fill in that spot. So, and to top off, to make a more dramatic effect, throughout the verse, actually throughout the entire song, I believe, I threw in a crash cymbal. That is the last thing that I added for this beat. Now, I will show you the entire beat playing from the jump. That's the distant air synth. Now we're coming in with the piano and the hi-hats real slow. The piano is just the intro to it, right? Now you're gonna hear the vocal that I added that I showed you. And my hi-hats are gonna pick up. Piano turns into a melody. I could turn that down, the vocal down a little bit. Now you're gonna hear the drum pattern kick in with the extra hi-hats. there was that crash. Now this is the chorus. Notice how the drums kicked out? And now you can just focus on the melody. Turn up the melody a little bit for you. Now we're back into the last chorus. Now everything is gonna cut out except for the vocal, the melody, and the bass. And that is my outro. So there it is. There you have it. That's making a beat with your boy Sev. Now I'm gonna watch this Eagles game. I showed you every aspect that it took for me to make that beat. And yeah. So the Eagles won. I made that beat. It's 2:55 a.m., which is the earliest I'm gonna go to bed. Well, which is the earliest that I have went to bed in a long time. So I'm crashing now. Deuces. Your boy Sev is out. Make sure to check out our other video on the best of both worlds.